Am I the a-hole for giving my stepdad a sign that says you are not the father during Christmas dinner? My mom and stepdad have been together since I was 5, married since I was 6, and I'm now 20. My dad died when I was 5. He and mom were separated but not divorced when he passed away, and mom started dating my stepdad a few weeks later. I met him about 5 months after my dad died, and he moved in with us after a year, and they married 14 months after that. My mom really wanted me to have a dad, and found my stepdad a good partner and someone who could be a good dad to me. Only I never wanted another dad. So, I always called him by his first name and referred to him as my stepdad. He and I have butted heads over this a lot, as he thinks I should be his daddy's little girl. I think it's crazy that he feels I owe him that, and owe him from the start. It annoys me how often he likes to bring up that my dad's dead, and the fact I hardly remember him, because a lot of my memories faded with time. And when I was 7, my grandpa died, who raised my dad after my grandma died when dad was a baby. So, I lost all contact with that side. The older I get, the worse it gets. And even with 3 boys, he is still focused on me being his little girl. I have told him that I appreciate him, but I won't ever call him dad. I spent a lot of time with my mom's parents as a kid and have a bedroom at their house. We had Christmas at their house this year, and all morning my stepdad was bringing up these stories of adult stepkids asking stepparents to adopt them, and on, and told me I would be asking him soon enough after all these years. He found this article on Facebook about a woman asking her stepmom to adopt her, where she talked about it being insulting to call her stepmom, because she was always a mom to her. He said that was him with me, how I only ever had him as a dad, etc. It got on my nerves. I told him to stop. So did Grandma, who told him nobody wanted to hear about that at Christmas, but he would not let up. So, I went up to my room at my grandparents', grabbed some old art supplies I still had there, and made a sign that said, "Jason, you are not the father of Gracie." Think the Maury show and how that was like a meme for a while. When dinner was ready, I brought down the sign and gave it to him and told him whenever he needs to remember, he can look at it and adjust his expectations. He was angry. My grandparents and half-brothers laughed. The oldest of my brothers actually said his dad needed something like that because he never seemed to understand it. My mom tried to calm him down, but he told me I was an ungrateful and disrespectful little girl who would be sad when he finally gives up caring about me. I told him I never asked him to annoy me, but to accept I will never call him dad and will never allow him to adopt me. I told him we could be close if he just accepted I don't see him as my dad. My mom wants me to apologize, but my grandparents think he should apologize for always pushing. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. Normally, I would have thought the sign was a bit much, but apparently he would not get the message even after being told repeatedly, and even after 15 years. He seems to have real control issues. I thought the same thing. This man isn't upset about her not wanting to be his daughter. He's upset he can't control her. Not the a-hole. Creepy AF. Your mom should have shot this down ages ago. What's up with this fixation? I am thinking, specifically because of the adoption language, that he is wanting validation and praises from others about everything I did for this child. In other words, I think this is a savior complex, and he wants recognition for his good deeds of saving this poor girl who lost her father, and then resentment for not getting it. OP, not the a-hole. Step needs to grasp reality and get over his ideas of how he needs to be validated by you and others for his perceived acts of heroism regarding you. Stay strong. Not the a-hole. Jason is super disrespectful of your dad's memory. Yeah, that pisses me off more than anything. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not accepting and opening gifts from my mom and her family? My 16 male parents divorced when I was 6. Mom remarried when I was 8 or 9, and her husband has 2 kids, 12 and 14, with his late wife. They were always favored. They got more attention and more gifts. I complained, but was always told they lost their mom. After some time, my mom adopted them, which I hated, and everyone still used the same excuse. It all came to head this November at my birthday. I got half the value of gifts than them for their birthdays. I was angry and argued with my mom and her husband. In the end, I told them that I don't want gifts from them and the rest of my mom's family ever again. Neither for my birthday nor any holidays. I am done. For Christmas, I am with my mom at the morning and then go to my dad and stepmom in the afternoon. When I woke up, I went downstairs to make me some breakfast and the kids were already opening their gifts and mom told me to open mine. I told her I don't want any gifts and to just distribute them to others and went to the kitchen to make breakfast. Mom, her husband and grandparents came after me and told me how ungrateful I am and to just open the gifts. I argued with them. Things were told, people were offended, and I went to my room and locked it. I waited till my dad came and just sneaked out of the house. I told my dad what happened and he told me I should just open the gifts. I got some text from my mom's side how I ruined Christmas and made my mom cry. She texted me and begged me to come home, but I told her I'm not coming till 2nd of January when my school starts. Should I have just accepted the gifts or am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. You were clear in your expectations. You expected equal treatment, didn't receive it, and let them know you'd no longer tolerate it. It's a shame your mother allows and encourages this. Do you live with her? Can you stay with your dad? And I'd point out that you didn't ruin anything. Her treatment of you ruined things, and I'd even ask her why she cares so much. Thank you. My school is in my mom's city, so I'll live with her. My dad is in another city 40 minutes away. I still have 2 years to go. I hope I make it. There is always tension in my mom's house when I'm there. We went to family therapy, but I always felt I was being gaslighted by everyone. I'm just done. Not the a-hole. Enough with their BS. Instead of the presents, imagine your mom and stepdad are serving you a disgusting soup every year. You taste it year 1, you don't like it, and it makes you sick. Next year, same. At this point, you know how the soup is going to taste and how you're going to feel. No need to subject yourself to this experience. Your mom crying is really funny to me, and the fact that she says you're ruining Christmas by not tasting their disgusting soup is sick. Wow, that is a great comparison. I will use that in next family therapy. Thanks. Actually, this is something my therapist told me. Glad it helped. Not the a-hole. The ugly sisters open their gifts and get wonderful presents, and Cinderella opens hers and it is nothing like her stepsister's gift. And everyone smirks and feels powerful, and Cinderella feels humiliated and less than. But what if Cinderella doesn't open a present? Then no one has any power over her. She is the one with the power. My mother was a narcissist. She played loads of mind games, but I learned to take back the power, just as you did there. Yes, it hurts. It hurts bad. But you put yourself in the driving seat. You didn't ruin Christmas. You just drew a line in the sand. You just told them you are not putting up with the nonsense anymore. It is hard to enforce that as a minor, so good luck. Don't let people bully you into being the victim. Am I the a-hole for giving my wife's Christmas present to my sister? My sister is back with us at the moment and been living with us since October because of ongoing divorce with her husband. My wife was not a fan of this and wanted my sister out and told me to give her our other accommodation which we own to my sister whilst she settles for divorce. But my sister wants to live with us as she gets lonely and won't have anyone cook for her because this whole thing is stressing her out. My wife has left our business because of broken leg, so she can help with the cooking for my sister. Since the start of the year, my wife been wanting Dyson Air thing for hair. I don't get the excitement. And yes, I bought her the gift in November for Christmas and I wrapped it and put it in our garage. A few days ago, my sister was wrapping gifts for Christmas and asked me what I got for my wife. I told her it's a Dyson hair product and a Gucci perfume which is around 700 pounds in total. My sister got excited for my wife, but said again and said she wanted Dyson hair product too, and used to beg her husband to buy it for, but he never did. Apparently, he gifted the Dyson to his now girlfriend. This obviously made me sad, so I wanted to buy her another Dyson hair product same as my wife. I also had wrapped shoes for my sister for Christmas. I went to different stores, but it was sold out. I looked online and it would only be delivered after Christmas. Because there was no option for my sister, I just removed the name sticker and put my sister's name, and gifted the Dyson I bought for my wife to my sister. Keep this in mind, I bought my wife extra Gucci perfume, so she still got the gift. And yesterday, I gave everyone their gift and everyone was happy. Until my mom told me that she saw my wife's face during the gift giving and my wife looked hurt apparently, and asked me why I didn't gift my wife the Dyson instead. I thought she was happy with the gift perfume I gave. I told my mom the truth and my mother is calling me an a-hole. My parents wanted to buy my wife Dyson hair for Christmas but asked me before they bought it, so I told them I was going to buy it for my wife. So they thought I'd actually give it to my wife and not change the plan last minute. Now my mom told our auntie too, and she thinks I was an a-hole too. I told them I will buy my wife again because we will have plenty of time, but they think it won't be the same as Christmas magic. So am I the a-hole? Edit. My sister did not live with our parents because they live up north in Scottish Village. We live in England because our business is in England, and my sister works here and her work is 20-minute drive away from where we live. My wife can walk. She doesn't need crutches. The reason she left our business was because of broken leg. But she's mobile. But she decided to rest after her cast was off. Now for the comments. You're the a-hole. But thanks for explaining quite clearly why your sister got a divorce. And why you'll get one soon too. This. Oh my goodness. You're the a-hole. First off, how is it fair to anyone that you make someone else happy on another person's account? Poor wife. She has a guest in her house against her will, for whom she is also cooking for, because apparently the sister is just very, very sad. And now she has to compromise on her gifts too. As the comment said, we can clearly see why she got divorced, and why her marriage will be rocky too. Jesus Christ. Obviously, you're the a-hole. Think of it this way. Your sister wanted her husband to buy her something and he bought it but gave it to someone else. You think he is wrong for doing this. Then, your wife wanted you to buy her something and you bought it but gave it to someone else? What the heck is wrong with you? Adding that onto the fact that you've moved your sister into your home without your wife's approval. And now you expect your wife to cook for your sister. She's a grown woman. She can cook for herself. And if your wife doesn't want her there, she should never have moved in. Why do you care more about your sister's feelings than your wife's? Even your own parents see that you're being a bad husband. How are you this dense? Guess the sister can keep Opie company during his divorce. Opie is such an a-hole. If he keeps it up, wife don't stick around. Sister can't cook. They will need a new maid who will get no more presents. The sister can't cook because she has the SADS. Wife with a broken leg can cook for the sad sister. If I were the wife, I know where I'd stash the crutches when I was done with them. Last story. Am I the a-hole for saying no to my in-laws taking our kids to Disney? My male 28, wife female 28, and I have 2 daughters, 6 and 5 years old, which is prime Disney age. They're both super into princesses and all that. We've talked about taking them to Disney over the next few years as we know they'd love it. My wife has never been before, and I've only been once when I was 10 years old. It was definitely a memorable trip for me, as my family had to save up a while for it. We've always known that Disney would be our big trip with our girls. In July, my father-in-law got diagnosed with prostate cancer. After a few rounds of chemo and some rather intense stays at a hospital, it's only gotten worse. It's spread across to other organs in his body, and rather than trying to suffer to fight it, he's opted to just not do chemo and try to live with what time he has left. As a result, him and my mother-in-law have decided to make more memories with family. One of these memories is to take our daughters to Disney and surprised them with a trip yesterday during Christmas. At first, I thought my wife would be against it as well. We've always said we've wanted to get to experience taking them and seeing their faces. However, I found out that my mother-in-law cleared it with my wife last month. My wife didn't tell me because she thought I would be surprised and excited for our daughters. I sat through all of the rest of the night, but when we got home, we had a serious discussion about it. I told my wife that I didn't want our daughter's first trip to Disney to be without us. She suggested we go along, but the trip is in February, and booking flights plus hotel plus tickets for just my wife and I for the time they're all going is still going to be almost $5,000. I told my wife that we have to talk to her parents and decline the trip, but my wife is saying that I'm being selfish and heartless by robbing our daughters of this experience and robbing them of a core memory with my father-in-law before he passes. Am I being out of line here? You're the a-hole. Your wife is right. I understand your disappointment in not being the first to take your kids to Disney, but these are special circumstances. Their grandfather / your wife's father is dying and wants to create memories with his grandchildren that will last once he is gone. It's small-minded and selfish to take that opportunity away from him and your children, just so you can be the first to have the experience with them. Do you think if you do this, your wife and daughters won't resent you for what you are taking away from them to satisfy your own selfish need? If you do this, remember, someday your daughters will be adults, and think about how they will look back on this and what they will think about you. It's Disney. They will light up every time regardless of being the first trip. Also, what they get out of it will change as they get older. Right now, it's probably all about princesses. When they're a little older and bigger, it's maybe all about the rides they can now ride. You're the a-hole. Don't take this incredibly thoughtful and meaningful gift away from your children, especially when it is a chance to create some core memories with a grandfather who doesn't have much longer to live. Take it from someone whose grandfather also died when I was young. These are the kinds of memories they will cherish. It would be incredibly selfish to take this away from your children, and also from your wife. This is her father who is dying, and she probably wants this for your kids more than you know. Either figure out how to make this trip work, or take them again when you can afford it. Guaranteed they will love a return trip, and likely wouldn't have gotten to see all of it the first time, so it will still be a magical experience. The kids will appreciate it so much more when they are 9 and 10. Plus, it will trigger lovely memories of a special time with their late grandfather.